Good morning, team. How are we? Hope everybody's well. It's a lovely day here in Cambridge, as we all say. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard once again to our live stream. What are we going to do today? Okay. I was getting the team was asking me, right, what's on the cards today? And I thought, well, let's do some fast stuff. Okay. And we all love fast stuff. We sort of did some stuff the other day, which was sort of building up rates. But today we're going to do some minute on, minute offs. Standard, classic, something everybody loves doing. I'm just going to check because I moved my. I'm just going to sit at the back here for a second, just because I move the camera every day. I just want to make sure. Okay, I'm just going to adjust. I'm just going to adjust. We'll have a look. Right, there we are. Look, you can get an up close and personal with me. I'm sure you will love that. There we go. I think that's a little bit better. Brings more into the screen. Nice. There we go. Okay. Now, I want to just talk about these minutes and how we're going to do it. There's a couple of ways you can do it when you like to get fast stuff and sort of get that rate and that type of thing. It's just doing them all flat out. Okay. But I'm a real fan of the fact that we want to build into things and we want to see some improvement, and we want to get, first of all, technical focus for a couple of reasons, so that you're doing it properly and you're not getting injured, okay? And then you're able to transfer that as you go faster, okay? Now, we've all got our ceiling, and what I mean by the ceiling is we've all got sort of a rating that we can sustain for certain periods of time. And so for today's session, when we talk about doing these minute pieces, now there's 1 minute pieces where you just smash it out as hard as you possibly can, as hard as you can, fail sort of each one. This won't be happening in that sense today. Okay, now these are sort of 1 minutes where if I said to you, let's do 2 or 3 minutes at this pace, maybe sort of, 2 minutes, whatever, that you could sustain it. You'd be like, you know what, I could probably do another minute at this, but it should be tough. Okay, so it's not a 1 minute where you're watching the screen and you're watching it click down and go, hurry up and finish because I'm just about to die. We're not doing that session today, okay? And it's quite hard. Like I can interpret it to you guys, but it's the ability for you guys to be able to do it yourself and understand what I'm trying to say, because there is different ways you can do these minutes, okay? And that is one of them. One of them is just to go to failure each time. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to do it to the best of our abilities to get the best speed we can, while still having clarity, still having focus, and still being able to push the intensity. Okay, so we see where we are, because you can give intensity here, which is max, then you can give intensity here, which is like 95%, and that's what we're trying to achieve here today. Now, what will happen though is as we get up into these last sets, that 95% is going to feel like 100%. Okay, and it's going to feel like you're maxing out, and that's really where we've got to switch on, because these type of workouts, the reason they're designed is that they're designed so that as you get the fatigue, as you work through it, this is the sort of feeling you're going to be getting towards the end of a race, towards the end of a piece, no matter what your target is, whether it's a 1,000 meter, 5K, 2K, crikey, if you're wanting to do something like a 10K or whatever it might be. These are the sort of feelings where you're like, tunnel vision, oh my God, okay, I've got to think. And that's the biggest thing that I find with doing pieces on the rowing machine for people, is that a lot of people just go beyond their limits. Okay, now we want to be pushing our comfort zone. So today is about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Okay, get that? So I hope everyone gets that. We want to try and be as comfortable as we can while it's really, really difficult and uncomfortable. Okay, so that's the session today. We're going to use that as probably our word of the day. So we're going to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and we're going to hold that rhythm. We're going to hold that speed. We're going to look at our numbers. We're going to set that target in ourselves. We're going to say, I can hold this for a minute. And if I had to be able to do it for, say, 2.5, I can still do that. Okay, and I'm on that clarity to do it. But we're still really trying to push those numbers and look for that improvement. So today, basically, we'll do this 15-minute warm-up together. And in that time, we're going to do 5, 6, 7 minutes, just steady rowing. We're going to build up the intensity. And then we're just going to push out some like 30, 45 second, maybe up to a minute pieces just slowly climbing in our rating, okay? And then we're going to have a quick break. So we're going to reset the machine. So we can just start off by rowing on this one. And then we'll reset the machines. We'll set our intervals. So just that 1 minute on, 1 minute off. And then, as I say, we're going to climb into it. So the first four we're going to do. Now, I've only got this rating on here because 36 is, I guess, quite a universal number in terms, and this is sort of my rowing side coming out. 36 is quite a universal number. If you can rate 36 on the machine, you're doing pretty bloody well. That's really top end sort of speed. If you're doing higher than that, well done. Okay. And so if you can't meet these are just targets. Okay. So I think I'll struggle a little bit around that 36 because I actually haven't been doing enough of these pieces myself. But I'm going to give it a go. I might even drop my drag, say 5, might drop it half a mark. So I might end up about 125s, and I think that'll just help get that speed going. So the first four pieces we're going to do at 32, and we're just going to get good solid rhythm, bang, 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 push it out. Okay, and then we're going to be building up that lactate. We're going to be building up that stress. Then we go into the middle chunk of it, and they're going to be around 34, 36. So if you've got a nice free rhythm, nice free flow, and you're sitting on 35, leave it. Okay, if you can get to 34, perfect. And if you're even a little bit quicker, go to that 36. And then at the end of it, the last 4 pieces are going to be 36 plus. Okay, but focused, clarity. Okay, not just going crazy, not shortening up, trying to keep the length, trying to keep the rhythm around the front, around the back, and that's going to really be the target of what we're trying to do today. Okay, so we'll talk about it a little bit more as we're going along, and even while we're into this warm up. But as I say, today's just going to be a nice one to really just push our limits a little bit. Okay, and when I mean push our limits, it's going to get a little bit tough. So it's a little bit unfortunate that our mate Robert Dunn, who is going to be our asensei moderator today, doesn't have his rowing machine at home. Right. Oh, look at that. I better just make sure I set my things up properly. Here we go. Hang on. Technology, eh? Can't get a proper stand that's going to hold up my machine. There we go. Maybe I need to invest. Right, there we go. Nice. A shot of coffee. That's how we roll here. Okay. So the one thing as well, yep, there's if you've already done some piecework and stuff like that this week, hopefully you can jump on and do this as well. If not, if you've already got if you haven't done any, this would be good. And if not, you can always come back and do this at a later stage. But we hope you're going to be joining in this morning. It's going to be hard. Right. Okay. So just remember, as we start to warm up, we don't need to set the machine. We just want to get into this rhythm. Just loosen up. It's really starting to feel the length, the stretch. Open that body out a little bit more, starting to feel the hang. All the little muscle groups that combine to help us along the way. So as we're starting to get this stretch out, and as we go through these time, every 30 seconds, just start to squeeze on a little bit more. Add a little bit more power, a little bit more push. A little bit more intent on what we're trying to achieve. Nice, starting to feel coming up onto the feet, roll around the front. And we're driving those bodies open, the legs, as we hang. Good. So starting to push a little bit more. Should be starting to get closer and closer to our training zone. Good. Yeah, starting to really feel that solidness as we hang, we drive through. One push on the feet, right to the finish. Nice. Okay, good intent here. Feel the breathing increase. Heart rate slowly coming up. So I'm pretty close now to my training zone, my splits. I'll start bringing it down another. I've only got 2 more splits. 1 more split. So I'll start to just really focus on the efficiency of what I'm doing. Feel that ratio, the work and rest. Good. Yeah, nice. Feel that connection. Feel the hang. Feel the drive. So in just under 30 seconds, we're going to free it up for our warm-up. And we're going to go to a minute at 24 rate. Okay? So in 5 seconds, ready? This one. Now. Just feel the movement. Doesn't need to add too much power. Find the rhythm. Find the flow. Feel the hang. Good. Hold the length. Good. Continuous motion. Don't hit the body. Brush it around. Good. Last 5 seconds. Good. Okay. Back it off for a bit. Okay, nice. So we're going to gradually increase these pieces in the warm-up. Should start to feel, okay, yeah, heart rate's coming up. Need to suck in a bit more oxygen. Muscles are getting warm. Okay, if you need to stretch it out in between, or else we'll do a couple of minutes just before we start. Okay, but be nice and active in this warm-up. Okay, let's start to firm. So in 10 seconds, so starting to firm again, we'll go up to 26 for another minute. Here we go. Now, remember, just feel the speed and the hang, the efficiency. Good. Rhythm. Nice and loose. Remember, this is just about movement speed, not about power. Natural power. Legs open the body. Yeah, 5 seconds. Good. Okay, nice. Good. Okay. So we're just going to gradually build. We'll do these minute pieces. We'll do 1 more minute now. At 28. Okay. Then we'll have about a minute and a half break. And then we'll start doing some sort of 30 seconds, getting up close to the speed we're going to do for these pieces. Okay. So don't worry, you're like, okay, warm up feels quite heavy. Don't worry, trust me. You're only going to be doing 15 minutes in this warm up with about 5 minutes of hard work. It's not going to affect what we do. If anything, it's really beneficial. You just got to trust in it, okay? Wake up the body. Here we go. So everyone, back on focus. 5 seconds, up to 28. Remember the flow. This one. Now, move your hands. Just think about that first. Hands away. Hands away. Let it go forward. Good, there we are. Now sit back through the stroke. With long arms. Breathe in. Good, hold this. Last 5. Good. Okay, nice. Heart rate's getting up. Starting to feel a little bit of blood flow right through those muscles. They're warming up. We're not filling them with lactate, okay? There's a distinct difference. It's very hard to build that lactate after such a short period of time when we haven't been really stressing the muscles, okay? So another minute, paddle it out at this. And we'll do some 30 seconds. These first 30 seconds, okay, we'll do it at 30, we'll do a couple at 32. Oh, maybe one at 32, and then we'll just do one at like 36. Now, the idea on these, so let's start firming it. The idea on these, be focused, have clarity, feel the rhythm, okay? Because whatever we do with these, all we're going to be doing is adding a little bit more power when we do the piece, okay? So these warm-up pieces don't have to be max. We want them to be sustainable. Okay, 10 seconds. So firming. Go 30 seconds at 30, okay? Straight onto the rhythm. Here we go. Now, got to move the hands. Here we are. Hang. Good. Push. Feel the legs open. The body. Sit back. Last couple. Good. Okay, nice. Okay, really good. So the next one, around 32, 34. Okay, if you get lots of freedom and it's sitting at 34, let it happen. Okay. So let's start to firm. We're going to go in 30 seconds. Okay, 15. Okay, 32 to 34, 30 seconds. Here we go. Free it up. 5 seconds. Here we go. Now, good hang. For the length. Good. Okay, nice. So we'll do one more piece, and that'll be at 36, or whatever your max is, okay, for this day. So if you don't think you can get to 36, and you think sort of 32, 33 is going to be your max, that's fine, okay? Then we'll just shuffle those numbers back a bit for you. Okay, so 20 seconds. Remember, just move a bit quicker. The legs have got to go down a bit faster. Think of acceleration. Don't think of power, acceleration and movement speed. Momentum. Here we go. Building in. Moving. Now. Hands. Ten seconds. Good. Okay, nice. 36 is going to be nice and fast. Okay, pedal it out. Breathing. Okay. Gone a little bit over on the warm-up, but it's just an estimation. So the one thing a lot of people don't realise is as you get fitter, it takes a lot longer to warm up, okay? Now everybody goes, I don't want to waste any energy. Oh, we're doing too much, we're doing too much. Honestly, it takes 20 minutes to half an hour for the body to wake up. Okay, no matter what exercise you're doing, there's that time for it to get in its sweet spot, and that's when we're going to work it, okay? So today, we're nearly there, okay? And I think these first 2 or 3, maybe 4, are going to get us into that sweet spot, and then those other pieces, as we build into it, are going to be the money, okay? And that's where we're going to feel the comfort and being uncomfortable, okay? Right, so let's get set, get ready. I'll put a bit of a stopwatch on it. Now, if you need to have a stretch, I feel like I do myself actually. Down on my knees, ripping up tiles all weekend. If you need a stretch, we'll do it now. But we don't want to sit around too long and get cold, okay? Okay, so the other key part that we've got to remember, okay, is that at the end of each piece, you're going to see your meters, okay? And we want to do the same meters or slightly better. So what does that mean about how we build into the piece? We don't want to see 0 come up on the screen, the 1 minute click over, and then we start, okay? With 3 seconds to go, we're starting to move. Okay, so as soon as we hit that line, the machine's going 60 to 80 to 90% of the speed. So our second or third stroke, bang, we're on our splits, we're on our money, we're holding that, okay? Right, you got another 30 seconds. We're gonna set the machine up. And then we're into it, okay? Right. Okay, here we go. Right, so let's go intervals, time. So we're gonna go 1 minute on, and then set that time to 1 minute off, okay? Right, are you guys ready? Let's click our timer into place. Right, let's get locked and loaded, ready to go. Right, so we're doing 12 of these. Remember, first 4. Going to be around this 32. Now, good solid, okay? Now, if the first one's just 32, getting your feel, that's fine. And then we'll start to try and increase our speed. Let's get 1 more meter, 2 more meters, 5 more meters. Okay, just little increments. We can't go, I'm going to get 20 more meters this one. Not going to happen, okay? Always looking for that gradual improvement. Right, let's press our button. Let's get set. Right, are you ready? Go. Right, length. Good rhythm. Hang. Feel the swing. Good. Sit back. Nice. Okay, really good. So first piece, check out your meters. Think about how it went. Okay. Evaluate. Move on to the next one. Okay, so we start to firm about this 20-second mark. Yep. Okay, what can we do better? Let's think about efficiencies. Right, here we go. Starting to firm. Yeah. Hands down the back. Push. Solid. Breathe. Relaxation. Solid push. Good. Hang. Nice. Okay, good. The other thing about this session, and just like any other short intervals, we might just get out of time a little bit because it's when your machine clicks over onto 0 and actually picks up the flywheel. So if we get 3, 4, 5 seconds out of sync throughout the piece, just focus on your machine. I'll sort of give that first part and the last part to yourself to get the speed, and then I'll start giving those pointers through the middle. Okay, firming. 32 again. What have we learned from the other two? Okay. Ready to move. Yep. Hang. Feel the lats. Length. Looking tall. Nice. Okay, good. Okay. Starting to get that work effort up. Okay. As we get through these pieces, you'll progressively feel like first 20 seconds, pretty good getting rhythm. 10 to 15 seconds in the middle, holding. Then you'll be like, oh, okay, here we go. That's where we want to get comfortable. Okay. Okay, firming. Last one at 32. Firm. Yeah. Hang. Good. Push. Long arms. Rhythm. Flow. Good. Okay. Really good. Okay. That's nice. So now we're going to move up. Get around this 34 mark, okay? This is really where we're going to start to feel it. Okay, we've got to get the rhythm. We've got to get the flow, relaxation, and focus. So let's start by getting there and then evaluating the speed from that. Okay, firm. You move. Yeah. Tap it along. Hands away. Down the back. Hang. Breathe. Relax the face. Good. Swing. Good. Okay. Breathe in now. How'd that go? How was the feeling? Okay. Really got to start locking in the rhythm, the hang, the relaxation, and that ratio. Okay, work and rest. Got to move the hands quickly around the back. Here we go. Suck in that oxygen. Here we go. Remember, build into it. Yeah. Let the hands go away quickly. They draw the body over. Sitting tall. Push. Breathe. Hang. All the way. Nice. Okay. Keep moving. Halfway. Okay, firming. Oh, here we go. Moving on. Now. Hang. Hands away. Good. Halfway. Feet. Rhythm. Sitting tall. Okay, good. Okay, now we're starting to get uncomfortable. Okay. Breathe it in now. Remember, be confident in your capabilities. Find the rhythm. Hang. Let's look for these efficiencies. Right, let's man up. Person up. Here we go. And yeah. Hang. Find the efficiency. Breathe into it. Relax the face. Hold. Push. Swing. Hang. Down the front. Good. Really nice. So, we're down to our final section. Okay. First one. Let's get the rhythm. Get the hands. Find that rating. Okay. And let's do it efficient. Commit to the piece. Really focus the last 30 seconds. Firming. Here we go. Find the flow first. Hands around the back. Here we go. Yeah. Push. Hang. Rhythm. Hang. Loose. Away. Face. Good. Okay. Heart rates are up. Stress is up. Rhythm. Focus. Okay. Now, if you're struggling with rate a little bit, just drop your drag a little bit. No harm in trying to find the speed, trying to find the rhythm. Do that same thing again. Remember, the speed of this chain wanting to go back fast. Go with it. Okay, even if you're not too set, just try to get your hands out. Let it come. Let it come forward. We can set towards the front. Don't overreach. Get into a nice position. Here we go. Yeah. Hands. Get in the way. Now hang. Now push. Now swing. Hands. Core. And the lats. All the way. Good. Really nice. 2 more. 2 more. Okay. Comfortable. Being uncomfortable. Face. Floppy. Okay. Feel the hang. Feel the push. Feel that speed. Feel as we come into the front, the push away. Okay. Don't grip the handle. Don't choke it. Keep some, that little bit of amount of relaxation in the fingers and the hands. Don't choke it. Okay, tension. Get rid of it. Here we go. Firm. Build. Yep. Good. Hands. Hang. Push. Hang and swing. Breathe. Let. Good. Okay, this is the money. Okay. Really focus. Now, if you do happen to have too much energy, free it up a little bit more. Okay. Get your own rating for the piece. Sit on it. Don't go out hard and die. Continuous motion. Here we go. Suck it up. Build in. Yeah. Hang. Finish. Hang. Push. Thirty seconds. Yeah, push. Face. Push. Oh, yo. Great work, team. Okay. Sit. Catch our breath back. Don't stop rowing. Keep everything moving. Just press your menu button. Save everything to your memory. Okay. Now you'll be able to go back and look at those pieces after you've done this. Okay. And actually have a look at where things started to go wrong or things got better. Okay, you might find that you were getting good speed changes up in that 34 and you managed to hold it all the way. Okay, then you might have been able to do 1 or 2 at 36 and then you started to slow, got a lot harder. That's fine. Okay, that's good. It teaches us where our efficient rating is currently. Okay, and if that happened to be that 32 or whatever you had at your first or second block of pieces, okay, that's what we want to know. We want to know where you are now, where you can go to, how long you can manage it for, okay, because it's very difficult for me to sit here going, yeah, why can't you hit 36, or, you know, your fastest speed should be at X or Y, right? But it's very individual in the way that it works, okay, and it's about doing pieces, finding out where you are currently, because some people might just not be able to move that quick, okay? And they might have drag high because you are very strong, okay? And then other people might be like, oh, 36, I can rate higher. It's really individual. And that's why just trying to set something in a reasonable area that I feel we could all accomplish, okay? And it's the way that we went about it. So at the end of it, you want to be able to finish the session and go, tough, man, it's hard. I'm going to have to warm down a bit and go for a walk, have a coffee, whatever it is. But you're going to be able to say, you know what, some of those pieces I had a good efficiency, I was hanging, I was pushing, but if I had to hold that for another minute, ooh, she would have been tough going, okay? That's fine, that's good. Okay, but if you were doing it, finishing, going, man, that was easy, maybe next time you do this session, if you want to do this again in a week or so, try it a little bit harder, put a bit more effort into those first few, okay? That's the idea, is we're just trying to find regions to give ourselves some numbers to know what we can hit, because ultimately, one of my biggest philosophies through the rowing is knowing what you are capable of achieving. Okay, people go into things blind. I'm going to enter a marathon. I want to go under 3.5 hours. Okay, how fast have you run before? Man, I don't know. I did 10K once in 45 minutes. Doesn't mean you're going to run a marathon in under 3.5 hours. Okay, whereas when we do pieces like this, you go, okay, round numbers here. I'm holding 140s at 36. And you go, you know what? That's awesome. Does that necessarily mean that you can stitch 3 140s together to do 1,000 meters? No, but it gives you a realization that goes, you know what? If I backed off a couple of points, I reckon I could do 142s for 1,000 meters. Okay. Now this is about realistic expectations and knowing what you're capable of achieving. Because the last thing I hate seeing it, and I don't want to tell people, is that they go, yeah, I really want to do 1,000 meters in X amount of time. And you go, okay, well, what's your practice has been? Oh, I do these 1 minute pieces all the time and they're great. Completely different, okay? And that's why you do pieces like this. Then we do what we did last week, where we go up and down in a pyramid, and you start to get an understanding of what you're actually capable of achieving, okay? And that's one of the biggest things on the rowing machine, is knowing what you're capable of achieving, so that A, you don't get disappointed if you do something and it's not up to your standard, but also it gives you something to work towards at the same time. Because, you know, there's people that lay out all these charts and they go, well, if you can do this time for 10 minutes, this time for 5 minutes, this time for 1 minute, I can work out what your time is going to be for this distance or that. And it doesn't quite work like that, okay? Because it does depend on the training and things you're doing. But obviously, everything that we do with the rowing machine through the asensei and stuff is learning what you can do and making that your benchmark, okay? And then you work towards that. Or, as I say, you know your expectation and you back off slightly to do something that's a little bit longer, okay? But if we don't do it in the first place, hey, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, okay? So, great session today. Go back and look at your numbers. Jump on the screen. Have a look at it. Just even feel to yourself, when did I get to that point where I was like, this is going to be tough to get to the finish of this piece of the workout. You know, I always break it down. And it's why I like doing things like this, because what actually happens as well, you know, if you go, let's do 10 1-minute pieces, and you're doing them all at like open rate or at, you know, whatever, you don't have a clear goal of what your step up's going to be or where your fatigue's going to hit and all this, and you just go about it. Okay, there's 1, okay, there's 2, there's 3, okay, 4, yeah, okay, 5, okay, I'm halfway and downhill. Whereas on this, you've got something to work on for each part, and it's still working you hard, but you've got to just break it down, because ultimately it's why I work a lot of the stuff on the time, you know, whether it's 5 minutes or 8 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever it is, because you work on that, you work it down, you break it down, you think about things better, rather than just doing it for max numbers or max distance, whatever it is, because it's hard to break it down and it's hard to stay focused for that period of time. And that's what we did today. By breaking up into these 3 segments, you worked on the rhythm in the first part. We started getting more speed and a bit more pressure for that second 4. And in the last 4, we're already tired. Now you've got to stitch everything together while you're really stressed, okay? And so I hope you guys will manage to pull that off. Love to see the comments on whether you were able to do that or not. But hey, and if you didn't, or if you're watching this and you're going to do the session later, those are the types of things that you want to know while we're doing it. Okay. Right, who we got? Joe, I'm going to, that's 10, it's half an hour ago. Joe, glad to hear that you need a 30-minute warm up. So just slightly off subject, when we were doing warm up for rowing, racing, Olympic final, you name it, we used to do about 30 minutes on the bike. And when I mean 30 minutes, I mean we were doing these pyramids, working up like full tit, sweating profusely before we even got on the water. Then when we were on the water for about half an hour, 25 minutes, and then we'd go on and do pieces and pieces. So we were doing about 50 minutes before a 6-minute race, okay? And this is what our physiologist told us, that you guys are so fit. And we were, you know, we could go do races hour-long, trainings, hour and a half, 2 hours. Okay, we're that fit that it takes that long for your body to get warmed up, ready to go, bang, fire it out. So even something like this, if you find that 15 minutes isn't long enough, do longer, okay? And trust me, you're not going to burn out from it, okay? And it is one thing that people go, I need to save my energy. Unless you're unfit and then you're doing now a warm up, yes, okay, that might be a little bit too much. But I'll tell you what, it is a secret. Just go out there, do your warm up, feel good, get a sweat on, and then get into it. Right, where are we? Thanks for today. Thanks, Hunter. Sean, great workout. Can coach post his numbers? We're not up to that yet, buddy. Maybe I need to get another. No, I'm not going to do that. You guys have got to focus on your own numbers. Maybe we could get a camera, or I'll put a head one on. That'll be funny. Right. Hey guys, loving the weekly workout cobwebs. Thanks, Will. Yeah, so I can't really we just can't put anything up on YouTube unless we do like a whole streaming setup, like a Streamlabs and stuff like that. So the other thing too is that all we're trying to do with these, and so for everyone that does want to see my numbers and stuff, look, it doesn't matter. Like I'm doing, 130 odds at buddy 36, quite, comfortably doing that sort of stuff. Not like what I used to be doing. The whole idea is that you should just be listening to me in terms of the focus. Now, I'm pretty good at just setting the rate. So if you're keeping in time with me, you should be pretty solid on the rating, okay? And that's what we want to do. A lot of this stuff is it's only pinned around rating because if we all do the same rating, it's all about increments and it's all about your step up. It's physics, it's maths. It's looking at getting the graphs of rating versus power. It's all pretty, like rating's linear, power's exponential, but then it's graphing the two together, finding where your lines work out, okay? So whatever I'm doing doesn't matter. It's what you're doing. Thanks, Nancy. Love the session. Cool. Western Mass in the USA, warming up is key. Yep, absolutely. Greg, I don't know if you could call it comfortable, uncomfortable, but definitely the category of what doesn't kill you makes stronger. Yeah, hey, Greg, like it is one thing, and we sort of used it as a bit of a philosophy because, like, when I talk about comfortability at this, it's not comfortable at all, but it's having clarity and having focus while you're still pumping it out. Okay, the last thing we want is gritted teeth, tense muscles, and all this. But you've got to get used to being in that hurt locker, right? You got to get used to being under the pump and it being bloody tough. And this is where the comfortability of it is. So it's very uncomfortable and it sucks. It hurts. You're like, oh, that sucks. The fact is you can sit there and do it, okay? And you can manage it and you can get through it. Justin, thanks for the workout. LP, can you answer the question on thing? Where are you, buddy? Up there. Is barefoot recommended? No chafing. Look, honestly, I think you guys can see it. I've always just done bare feet on here, just found it comfortable. I've always found shoes being a bit restrictive. So if you've got thin-soled shoes, I reckon it's great. Anything that's a little bit real thick on the sole, I just felt like when you came up to the front, as your feet's coming up, like you can see the bend in my foot through the base of my toes. I just found that when I had shoes on, it actually was like quite restrictive, and I was getting up here and you'd feel a little bit more stress in the Achilles because it was almost having to force that shoe to bend, okay, to get up. Plus I've got pretty big feet, and yes, I'm not very comfortable. So when I had shoes in, it actually pushed my foot quite further up, and then I found, I'm pretty tight getting forward, okay? And so it's a very personal thing. Some people like erging without shoes. Like, look, I've got a sweat puddle underneath my feet. Okay, and when I do long sessions, I've got sweat running off my legs and down there. And I used to have these shoes, and they just were horrendous. They stunk, they rotted away, just because they're getting sweaty all the time. Right, who else we got? We'll do a couple more, and then we're going to sign off. I was pulling 36, 39 for the last 4, but pulling is hard. I need to consciously focus on the same strength pointer. Yes, okay, Sean. So that's the thing is if you are going up to that 36 and you're finding you're just forcing the rating and you're not really getting the split, okay, you found your equilibrium. Well, you're better off to stay at 34 and focus on the push and the drive rather than going to 36, having the speed up and then not being able to produce the same sort of power. Okay, and that's one thing about it. And so now you know, you might want to do some more stuff at this, or you might not. You know, that 35, that 34, 33, whatever it is, that might be your real sweet spot where you can tap that along and go, okay, my power versus my speed is on an even keel. Whereas if your speed gets out of whack and your power starts coming down, now your splits are going to go slower. Okay, so just, it's good. Think about it. Okay, this is the thing, you got to think about it. Thanks, Will. Yep, on pace setter. Cool. Any advice on rating higher? I can hold 30 for a 2K. Any higher and I blow Bob. Bob, as I just said in Greg's thing, it's about finding where you're sort of where that comfortable spot is between rating and power output. Okay, because some people find, you know, they're big and strong, they've got a lot of power, and they find just rating 30, 28 powerful. Moment they go to 34, they can't move the hands quick enough, they lose length at the front, they can't get the speed, and it doesn't go any quicker. So what you're doing is you're rating for nothing. No point. Okay, so you're finding something. The only thing I can say to that is actually doing some pieces where you slowly build the rate. Okay, so imagine this being 30 seconds, okay, and doing maybe 2 sets of it. And then just finding out, how can I get, where is my sweet spot? Is it 32? What happens when I do 32 for a little bit? Okay, that's not bad. And I went 1 split faster or whatever. And that might be the case. So it's really just doing workouts that are going to get that speed up, and just find out what rating you can achieve with that. Okay, right. Thanks, team. Thanks for coming back to the asensei workout today. I'm off. I'm going to go have a shower. It's a nice day today. Might go hit some golf balls at the range this afternoon. But cool. Thanks for tuning in. We'll keep you updated on how everything's going, and keep safe. We know there's a lot going on in the world. So from all of us here at asensei, all I can say is stay safe from everything. Okay, we're all we're all in this together, so we're all with you. Okay, enjoy. Thanks, team. Peace.